Hello and welcome to Naivety Gaming. I am your host Matt, and this is the 28th week of Cheap Weekly Thrills. For those who don't know, Cheap Weekly Thrills is where I browse Steam, find a game for $5 or less that has been released in the past week. And today is April 10th, 2018. I most definitely just scrolled past our little $5 button. It is release date, and for this week, we're actually going off the heels of last week, where traditionally, for whatever reason, I've found myself very enticed about puzzle games and whatnot, where it's just kind of this nice, relaxing vibe. You just kind of go your own way, you just figure out these puzzles or whatever. But last week, I had a very different game where I found a very intriguing bullet hell style game called Grood. And it's incredibly fast paced. So, noticing the game that I picked this week, it's called Vectorborn. And Vectorborn is an arcade bullet hell styled game. Blast through waves of unique enemies, collect powerful upgrades, destroy everything that stands in your way. Local co-op, controller support, 4 levels, several playable ships, weapon upgrades, settings control, and much more to come. This game is created by Burning Nebula Studios, and it is an astounding 59 cents, so it's 40% off. So it's normally a $1 game. It's now 60 cents through the 14th, which is Saturday. Setting system requirements, I like to see that it only takes 2 gigs of RAM and 20 megs of space. So, considering it's only a $1 game, if you don't like it, it's much different than our traditional cheap weekly thrills where you feel scammed or it's just not worth your time or whatever. You're literally paying cents out of the dollar. So if you do not enjoy this game, well, it's pretty cheap. But I have a feeling we are going to really enjoy this game. I was thinking about this earlier. I was trying to remember the game that I believe was for Atari that was very much so like this, where this just kind of feels like a remastered version of it. However, the thing that caught my eye in the intro video was a massive boss you could fight. So it's almost kind of like, it kind of feels like a top-down version of Star Fox 64, where you've got your little ships that you're flying around and whatever, and you're destroying the little minions, and at the end of the levels you get to destroy these massive bosses. So that, and it's got local co-op and controller support. So again, for 60 cents currently, I think you're going to get a really good deal with this game. Only 4 levels, so we'll see if that's worthwhile. I'm going to shut up because I feel like I've been talking for about 3 minutes now, and my sincerest apologies about that. So I'm going to give this a little bit of a test, and we'll see you guys in just a moment. Hello and welcome to Vectorborn, a game that seems very much so from the 1980s, but with a really cool modern feel. So I'm gonna go into new game, and I'll show you guys kind of what it's all about. And immediately, you'll notice the footage, and it's like, so this game looks like it's from 2005, if that. Like probably the late 90s. My Elgato is not doing it justice. Almost every one of the games that I've been playing for Cheap Weekly Thrills has been in a very nice, crisp 60 frames a second, but every freaking time I record them, my Elgato is always in a solid 30 frames. At least it's consistent. But just playing the game and then looking at the footage that's coming out, it just is not doing it justice. So that's going to be my first point that I want to apologize about, is it just looks great and plays great. The controller support is fantastic. It's just perfect. I love it. So as you're noticing, I'm picking up these little green little guys here. That's for picking up, health and whatnot. This is the first time I've seen this little blue guy. I think it's a shield of some variety. I'm not sure. But on the right side, you'll note that I have two little kind of bars going out. One is a health bar, and the other one is like the equivalent of star power in Guitar Hero, where you fill it up and you get a special ability. And so the control set is right trigger is shoot, left joystick is to move about and do your thing. Quick note, this purple little guy just adds extra beams or upgrades them to the next level. This red little guy adds a little minion or something. I'm not sure what it is, what they do yet. But then the left trigger, as you'll experience in just a moment when I have enemies to fight upon, does this. So it's kind of like a, I don't know, just in an area effect, shoot lasers pretty much everywhere, because why not? And it actually goes on for quite some time, which is pretty awesome, because it takes, I don't know, about 2 minutes of gameplay at least to get it, and it goes on for solid 30 seconds. So I kind of like that. It helps clear up the area if you're in desperate need of something. And like, hey, I've got lots of enemies coming about. I need to get rid of them pretty much now. That'd be pretty good. So yeah, that's a good way to save up energy and take enemies off the screen. As of right now, I should make mention, I've played this game in, there's a setting in the settings page of difficulty. They've got green, yellow, and red, and I would assume that it goes easy, medium, hard. It starts on medium. I tried it out on medium and tried it on easy. Easy, they're just throwing you power-ups left and right, and they give you absolutely no enemies. And this being medium, it kind of feels the same. I was gonna say there's definitely more enemies than easy, but the first time I did this on medium, there was a lot of enemies, and I don't know, just kind of filled up the screen quite a lot more. So in all honesty, I would probably recommend medium to hard for a game like this. And at some point in time, your game kind of freezes like this, and you're like, oh, what's going on? Like, did my controls break or something? Did the game break? Nope. It's just a dramatic reveal of, hey, the enemy boss is here. So let me acquire some health. Just kind of sit right on his nose. Seems like a massive design flaw of the enemy. Oh, that's new. On the initial easy mode, this little kind of circular guy that just fired off a trillion different lasers was not in the easy mode, so all it was like, hey, guess what? Sit in front of the nose. They'll shoot a couple of rows of enemies or lasers every once in a while, so don't worry about that. And I need to take some focus here to see if I can avoid those lasers. Not doing great, but having the joypad is really nice for very accurate controls. I think I want me one of those shields. I just need to keep shooting there. That was probably poor timing of using that little spiral star power effect. Actually, there we go. I wish I could do damage to that thing firing so many lasers. That'd be quite nice. But here we are, and we're just going to keep on going on and hitting this enemy ship. I believe we have 19,000 points, and we're 50 health points. So we're a little bit lacking here. It's not fantastic, but I think we can do... I think we're doing okay. Let me just kind of sit right about here, continuously shooting. Missing these lasers quite nicely, so let me just focus fire. And we should be about good in a couple of seconds. In the easy mode, you would be taking out the enemy health a lot quicker per se, so probably should have just focused fire. Apparently you can't get too close to the boss there, where it just muzzles the lasers on your little, whatever you want to call it. Wherever the lasers come out of your ship, that thing. So we're on wave 5. I'm going to see. I'm learning new things with you guys right now. Honestly, I probably should wrap up gameplay pretty quickly so there aren't too many spoilers. But I know as much as you guys do in this level, so I will actually go back to the main menu so I don't spoil anything else for you guys. So that was Vectorborn by Burning Nebula Studios. It is currently 60 cents on Steam until Saturday, April 14th. And man, do I recommend this game. This is a lot of fun. Yeah, there are only 4 levels. So that will be a little bit disappointing, but you are only paying 60 cents for a game. I would absolutely pick it up. It could be a good hour worth of gameplay at least. And if you uninstall, reinstall, and you know, play it a couple of more times, get a couple of friends in there, I can imagine that there be a lot of good play time to get out of it. Apparently there are ships that you can unlock as well. Let's see if they're leaderboards. Nobody submitted any leaderboards. That's unfortunate. But apparently there are ships that you can choose, so you can mix things up aesthetically a little bit, which I do think is quite nice. So, like I was saying, this is Vectorborn. If you've liked this content, make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment down in the comment section. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this video. And also comment down below what game you guys picked up this week, whether it was Vectorborn or a different game. And keep in mind that it has to be $5 less. So again, let us know what you guys picked up this week. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And like I was saying, this is the 28th week of Cheap Weekly Thrills. I'm your host, Matt, and I hope to see you guys next week for whatever game we'll find for $5 or less at the 29th week. So, we'll see you guys later. Bye.